everyone. Welcome to the second episode of Phenomenal Woman Wednesday. I am your host, Dr. Saran Nataki. Thank you for joining. Welcome to Power 365 Phenomenal Woman Wednesdays. This podcast will address issues ranging from what is a phenomenal woman? Are you enough? Community service, paying it forward, the manifestation of dreams with words and action, the power in being a woman, the men who support phenomenal women, fashion, and much more. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome to our second episode of Phenomenal Woman Wednesday. So today, I have the pleasure of entertaining Mrs. Melitta Johnson. She's a wife, a mother, a wellness ambassador, entrepreneur, and philanthropist. She's the founder of the Elgin Foundation, and she is most recently a realtor. So welcome to Phenomenal Woman Wednesday. Our mission here, Phenomenal Woman Wednesday with Resilience, which is the name of our channel, Power. Our mission is to promote women and their positivity, understanding that we come with so many gifts and so many offerings that I think that it's really important that we shed light on the women who are really making a difference in our world today. So with that, I would like to introduce Mrs. Melitta Johnson, and I welcome you to please share with our listeners how you ventured on your mission upon wellness and philanthropy, and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I feel honored and blessed to be a guest here on your show. So thank you so much. I don't even know where to begin because my life has been a whirlwind of, ups, really good ups and some really downs. But truly, before, if I could just, sort of take it back, I always wanted to work in healthcare, specifically as a physician. And then I was diagnosed with lupus. And so, my life took an unexpected turn, and it took some time, but I had to become okay with that turn. And what I decided to do is to stay really close to healthcare, but to work in healthcare as an executive for a large organization here in Southern California for a number of years. And what happened there is I had a tremendous learning opportunity to, I was able to grow, as a healthcare administrator, as a businesswoman, and also as a woman who was growing a brand new family. My life took another very unexpected turn when my youngest sibling, my brother, Elgin, started to go or experience mental health challenges. And even though, as an undergraduate student at UCLA, I majored in psychobiology and thought I knew something about psychology, I truly did not. And while he was going through his challenges, I sort of was going through those challenges with him because we were so close. And then again, unexpectedly, his life ended, and his life ended by suicide. And so I had to stop.
So it required you to refocus, readdress what was important in your life.
It did. I had to stop because I could not physically, mentally, emotionally, I couldn't move forward. I couldn't move. I have always been known to be the strong one in the family. I'm very resilient. If you need help, I'm there to help you. I can figure out a way through everything. When that happened, I couldn't move. I couldn't get out of bed. I had never experienced such an emotion before in all of my life. And I had never experienced such a loss. And so, like you said, it made me, I stopped. I never stepped foot into my office again. Never. I didn't even go and grab my things. They brought it to me. I didn't move. But I knew I had to do something when the time was right and when I could get myself together mentally and emotionally and physically. During that time, I was 5'10". I am shrinking now apparently because I'm 5'9", and that was just 7 years ago. But I am, let's just say 5'9.5". And right,
Somewhere in the middle.
somewhere in the middle, right? I during that time my weight dropped to 115, which is not a normal weight for someone my height or even someone that's 5'5". It's just not.
So this is during the period of your rest.
Yeah, during the time of my break. So this happened in 2012. I'm sorry, my brother passed in 2012, and during that time I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't do a lot of things, and I just really had to, again, just sort of figure out how I could move forward with my life. And it wasn't until, with these challenges that I saw that all of my relationships were breaking down. So my relationship with my husband, my relationships with my children, with my family, I had completely withdrawn from life. Because it just didn't seem like it was as important without Elgin in it. And so when, I just sort of hit sort of was between a hard, what do you call it? What's the saying?
A rock and a hard
place.
A
rock and a hard place. I'm always bad with those things. I was between a rock and a hard place. And I had to choose, like literally choose. And my family really helped me through that time. My husband sought out professional help. We had to go to seek marriage counseling to help us get past that point.
And is that something that you feel he would have typically done? Because I know you're African American, and as African Americans, we tend to shy away from seeking professional, formal help. And so, is that something that your husband would have done truly, or was he stepping outside of the box as well to just find a way to support you?
Oh, no. Him? No. There was no way he would have ever in his life considered. He would have recommended it now. Like, you know what? You may need to seek out some professional help. But to actually receive it, that is not something that he typically would have done. So for him to go out, to find the professional, to find a time that worked for us to go consistently, that was all him. So he was able to do that. And in those sessions, the professional saw that there was more that was going on and recommended that I just see the professional by myself. In addition to having, the marital counseling, to also having just sort of counseling so that I can find a space where I can heal, and I know that without that help, I would not be where I am today. And so I am a tremendous advocate for mental health services. So, a lot of us, especially in the African American or Black community, we will not seek services. We will not talk about any mental health issues in our families, with our friends, our loved ones. It's just taboo. It's something that we don't do.
We're too strong to do that, is the perspective a lot of the time. Or we need to pray it away.
Right. You'll say, I recently attended a friend's, her child was baptized, and the pastor there said essentially that there is no such thing as mental illness. If you are depressed, it's because you have not found God. And if you pray, it will go away. And while I do believe in God and the Lord, and I am a strong advocate of prayer, in addition to that, you need to seek, if possible, if the resources are available, seek professional help. And so with that help, I was able to then go on to create sort of a space where we can eliminate the stigma of mental health. And that space is called the Elgin Foundation for Wellness, an organization designed to really work with others to eliminate the stigma of mental health and to, work to rid our society, our communities of suicide.
Yeah. I think that is just so profound that one of the things that I find so amazing about you, Melitta, is that you you transformed your pain into something so positive that is I mean, that's an amazing accomplishment. Not many people are
Thank
able
you.
to take hold of that and really. I think that we are able to do it. I just think that we're sometimes not brave enough to do it, or we just don't know how to do it. And I think that is something that you absolutely offer us as women, as people. Is, to mankind, is the ability to transform adversity and pain into something positive that is a benefit to the whole. So I thank you for that. What would you say? In now that you have the Elgin Foundation and you put on so many different programs, and just this past year you gave out scholarships to the youth, and just doing some really, really amazing things to bring awareness to the community. How do you describe your ability to balance being a wife, a mother, your career, and then still find, like you spoke about, that space to heal, but how do you find that space in your daily existence to really just take care of yourself? I know that is a common struggle that we have as women.
Oh man, it's such a loaded question. The balance part, it's difficult, and it's almost sort of a everyday sort of a reset button that you have to push. So some days you have these really hectic days as a mother or as a wife, or these really demanding days in the office as the leader or founder of a new organization, or even with the real estate. It can be difficult, in dealing with a difficult transaction, and you also have to go home to help out 2 children or 3 children with homework assignments or projects and whatever else. What I do to reset, literally, I do this every single morning, is I take out 5 to 10 minutes of my time before I do anything else, before I speak with anyone, before I have a cup of coffee or tea. This is what I do every single morning. I pray and I do yoga. People say, I don't have time to do yoga. If you don't have 5 or 10 or 20 minutes where you can just set it aside for you, then you have to rethink what it is that you're doing in your life. And so what I've done is really literally in the morning, I stretch, I do yoga, I may meditate, but I have that time set aside for myself, and I set a very clear intention for the day, reassuring myself that I'm going to have a good day regardless of whatever challenges are thrown my way. And I proceed with the day accordingly. Now, that strategy was not easy, and it took years to sort of come to this understanding that I need to set some time every day for myself. And then I also schedule out time to exercise, and nobody can come in between me and those times where I exercise. So those 2 things I think are really key if you're sort of balancing between different worlds, and you need to sort of have a space where you can be like, okay, this is for me. Because if you're in a good space as a mother, everybody else will be in a good space. But if you're scattered and all over the place, your entire family or your entire world will be scattered.
I definitely agree with that. So it sounds like what you're saying is that you've created a daily ritual for yourself. And so I also agree that that's very important, having a daily ritual, and then with meditation. So can you tell us about what yoga actually does to you? A lot of people feel, or for you, a lot of people, I know it's become more popular now, but some people feel that it is just kind of like this out there kind of thing, and it's not. It's either some taboo spiritual practice, or really just don't understand the benefits that it offers even to your physical health. Just marrying those 2 things. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, first of all, I have to say that I truly enjoy yoga, and maybe I was one of those skeptical people back in the day. Like, I came into yoga, literally I was a little stressed. No, I was really stressed in graduate school, and I had never felt this kind of stress before. And my now husband, then boyfriend, said, why don't you try yoga? And so I literally went into Target, found a VHS. Yes, I'm dating myself. I found a VHS. I put it in the VCR, and the name of that VHS was Yoga for Dummies. That's how I got started in yoga. And it walked you through 10 yoga poses that, they showed you the correct alignment and all this stuff on this VHS. So that's how I got started. But it was sort of an infrequent practice that I had, begun. When I started to do yoga again at the end of 2016, and especially after going through so much in my life with so many deaths. So you have my brother who had passed, then my grandmother, my aunt, all these sort of deaths and illness with my father. I needed to find again a space that allowed me to heal and to grow. And so I decided at the end of 2016 to recommit my yoga practice. And as a result, a lot of benefits sort of started to arise. So I got a call out of nowhere offering for me to do a yoga teacher training at half off. I mean, I never would have received that. Like, where did that even come from? Why did she call me? It just seemed like as soon as I dedicated myself to the yoga practice.
Set the intention.
Things started to come. And so what happened though, as a result, I'll go to the gym and I will set aside my time. I have my own yoga mat that everybody's sort of working out and lifting weights, and I do that, and then I have my yoga mat and it's sort of in the middle, and I do what I need to do. But to come back to your question, a lot of people do sometimes feel like yoga is for the unicorns. It's just sort of, again, this mythological sort of practice, where you're praying to maybe Buddha or whomever. And it really isn't. I've even heard some Christians say, I can't do yoga because I'm a Christian. And I say, I am too. I'm not praying to Buddha, but what I am doing is I am demanding that I have a spiritual healing. And so through the yoga and the meditation, I have gained that. And so I have lupus again, right? And so with that, I struggle sometimes with rheumatoid arthritis. It's just part of my journey. And so there was a time where I didn't think I would be able to do a number of the, sort of strength requiring yoga poses. But again, it's really through the practice, really through dedicating my life to I guess a system or a method that would allow me to find a space where I can be calm through difficult times, that I'm able to sort of accept things as they come, but have a different way of dealing with them, a more calm, strategic, methodical way for dealing with that. And I know that I got that through the practice of yoga. I know that for sure. Like, I don't even feel any arthritis pain at all, where I used to feel it, right? I used to feel it in my fingertips, in my wrist, in my knees. I couldn't do a down dog sometimes because I was in so much pain. And now I can do a handstand like that. It's just, it's really.
You had your 100 days of handstands. So
yes,
now you're doing the freestanding handstand.
Yes, a 2-second one. It's 2 seconds. So it's But who would have thought that someone who is almost 40, all these children, lupus and arthritis, that I would be able to sort of evolve my yoga practice into something that will require me to lift up my body and to so it's just amazing. And I'm amazed too. And so I would encourage everyone out there to give yoga a chance. And you can also go to my Instagram page, which is Be Well with Mel, BEE Well with Mel, for additional tips.
Yeah, and we'll provide a link for that for your page, so that our listeners can be inspired by all that you're doing with your yoga and your wellness focus. So one other question that I have for you, the common thread that I hear coming from you when you're talking about your times of challenge and transformation, and even when you've been encouraged to try something new, is support from your husband. And I think that is amazing. That is something that cannot be purchased, having that supportive individual. So how would you describe, what would you tell listeners, women in general, even our men, about the importance of investing in your marriage?
I think I would definitely say that your marriage, and your relationships are so important. And so you should treasure them. You should treat them as if they are a treasure. You need to nurture them like a plant, water them. You need to invest time in them and in the relationship. It's, a lot of the times I hear from my single friends, the sort of the ambition to want to be married and have children, but with that comes a huge responsibility, an unselfish responsibility that you have to your partner. And it's that you will love them without condition, that you will accept, both the love, the flaws, the conflict, all the stuff that comes with marriage. You will accept that, and you will do your best to try again tomorrow. And I think it's important to let your loved one know that, you know to share your level of appreciation for them. Tomorrow is not promised, and you have to really just invest, whether it's, you have a date night on a Tuesday, if you can, swing that, or whatever it is. You have to take the time to let that person know how much you love them, and to show your appreciation for them in the way that they would appreciate it. Not like for me, like I know, right, I know what I like. But would he want, a nice new handbag or, shoulder bag? He wouldn't like that. But he would appreciate, affection and things like that. So you have to get to know what their love languages are, and really show them, show them how much you love and appreciate them. And that goes for, even all your relationships, With my mother, she has always been there at any given time of the day or night. I can call and she will drop whatever she's doing to be there. Now, it's also my responsibility to show her how much I love and cherish and care for her, And all, my children, everybody in my life, I
have to
try
feed
to make
the relationship.
You have to feed it. You do. Otherwise, it will die.
Absolutely. So my final question for you is, as a mother, so you're living an example every day, and you're getting up, you're taking that time and space for yourself, you're resetting, and you're giving everything 100%. What would you say is the most important lesson that you think you might be giving your children?
Accountability. I think I have a couple. So, accountability to each other. A lot of the times my children will fight, as siblings do, and I remind them that our time here is limited. So, and I remind them that they have themselves. You have to be accountable for each other. You have to love on each other and tell each other that. But of course, they're like 12, 10, and 7. They're like, "Oh, mommy, I don't know what you're talking about. This is whatever, you're floaty." But with the love stuff. But I teach them accountability. And what I share with my entire family and those that I cherish the most, I never, ever, 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 if we are engaged in a conversation by phone or in person, by text, I always leave with "I love you," and I'll share with you why. The night before my brother, he again died by suicide, but before he died, he had called a number of people, but he called me specifically on March 19, 2012 at 11 o'clock p.m. and we were talking, which is not uncommon at that time, but I had this tremendous urge to say, "I love you." And I didn't. We got off the phone, and I never spoke with him or heard from him or anything again. And that I think, if there's anything else, that I could ever say, I don't really live life in regret. I don't have regrets at all. But that is the one thing that I do regret, is that perhaps he left this world and didn't know or understand that I loved him. Like, with all of my heart, I loved him. And so now it may sound goofy, in my household, my husband leaves, he leaves early, and everybody's like, I love you, Daddy, I love. But it means so much to me that we, begin our day and end our day in love. And, I feel like it's important to let that person know at that time how you feel about them. Because, again, you don't know if that's the end or not, you know? Yeah.
With that, I just want to thank you so much for your time. We could go on and on. There's so many layers to this woman. So, but we'll end here. And I just want to thank you for your time and your transparency. And I'm honored to feature you.
Thank you so much. And I want to thank you for allowing me to share in this space. And thank you for being a true friend, because you were with me through it all, and you know the struggles. And I thank you and I praise you for this amazing podcast.
Thank you.
That was good.
Thank you for tuning in to Power 365 Phenomenal Woman Wednesdays. I believe that every woman gifts the universe with her own strengths and unique characteristics. Simply because she is born, the universe benefits. Every woman is growing, learning, and evolving. On this channel, only positive seeds are sown, no matter how flawed the soil. Take care and have a phenomenal Wednesday.